A lot of Western New York families are preparing to head back to school within the next week or so. And tonight we want to address some confusion out there regarding school lunches and breakfasts. A federal program had provided for free meals to pretty much all students throughout the pandemic, regardless of income. But that has ended, despite some efforts in Congress to extend it for another year. That means many families that haven't had to pay for those school meals for 2 years are now adding that on top of their rising bills for pretty much everything else with near record high inflation. Joining us live right now is Ann Rich, Food Service Director for Frontier Schools. It's really great to have you on the show, Ann. We've talked about this a lot because so many people have kind of been wondering, was it going to be extended again? What's going on with that? I just want to start with what questions you're hearing from, not only your district, but I know you're kind of plugged into this all over Western New York. What are parents asking you, and what information do you think is important to get out there?
I think the biggest piece of information that we have to get out there is that, like you had just explained, the waivers have not been extended. So parents and families have to go back to an application system. And for many, the last 3 years, meals were free, and a lot of people didn't even have children maybe in school pre-COVID. So it is important for families to know that they do have to apply for free and reduced price meals. And this application does not only qualify for meal service. The the results are tabulated and they're used to determine funding for other district student programs like Title I and exam fee waivers for our seniors. They're also used in grant writing and also to determine other benefits like PEBT. So it's very important to get these applications in. Our district, as well as many across Western New York, have have subscribed to a system called My School Apps. So parents and families can apply quickly and easily online. You can check myschoolapps.com to see if your district participates in this. If you just prefer, or if they're not online, you can also still send in a paper application. You will get a letter back in the mail about 10 days after you apply to 2 weeks to notify of your result if you qualify for free or reduced price, or if your income exceeded the guideline. But it's very important that we get these applications in this year more than ever, really.
And I know that every district is distinct, but what are you seeing in Frontier in terms of how many kids, who qualified before? It was 100%, right? Because everybody was doing it, who are not going to qualify now. And then about the timing of all of this. It's not like you have to have this done before the start of school, right? Parents can still go in and fill out that form and see if they qualify.
Correct. And that's a really hard question to answer because everybody's been free for the last few years. And during these last few years, so many families have experienced, financial changes. And our household budgets are still tight with today's economy. So it's hard to put a number on it, but this definitely will affect thousands. It's going to affect thousands of students and families across Western New York. And you can help. You can help us help our students, our districts, our families just by sending in that application. And it doesn't matter the status. Every application helps us and helps our district funding.
I know that you've seen firsthand the impact that the free meals have had over the last few years. There are some states out there, including Maine and California, that have decided to just on their own kind of continue this permanently. Is that something that you think New York should consider?
Yep, absolutely. We have been, we do visit our state and federal lawmakers on an annual basis, sometimes multiple times during the year, to discuss our programs and to discuss our community needs. And, study after study show the benefits of school meals. And we really remain hopeful that someday universal free meals for all will just become a permanent reality for all of us. So, but until that happens, we really need all families to send in applications.
And I'm almost out of time, but before we go, I want to ask you if you and people in your position in other districts across Western New York have kind of prepared for the possibility that some kids are going to come to school and their parents are going to think, you know, school meals are free. They've been free the past couple of years. Don't have to worry about this. I mean, what are the notifications going to be like to tell folks, hey, by the way, you've got this bill, you need to pay for it, and kind of helping accommodate people as they, you know, realize that?
Right, right. Every district will have its own like procedures in place to notify parents. But you know, they'll, you know, I can speak for myself. We call families, we send letters, we send emails. Um, we're gonna work on trying to have like a robo system to just to email and text our families like the if they owe money, just to try to keep that communication open so that those bills don't add up, because the school lunch debt can accrue quickly. And the best way to try to, you know, just to even just see where you're at is to just get that application in as soon as possible, and so we can let you know as soon as possible, um, you know, what your status is. But regardless, if you do qualify for free or reduced, or if you do have to pay for your meals, the school lunch is a great value, especially when compared to the, you know, the high cost in our grocery stores.
Yeah.
Most districts, most of us are sticking with our pre-COVID rates. We haven't increased our school lunch, you know, paid price. So we're trying to do whatever we can to try to help everybody out.
We've been talking with Ann Rich, Food Service Director for Frontier Schools. I know this is top of mind for a lot of people. Ann, thanks for coming on and talking to us about it.
Thank you for helping us get the word out.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.